Hello everyone, welcome back to RIVERA'S Urban Homestead. This weekend's project is right behind me. The south side of my house, where I used to do all my composting, it's trashed. We are going to clean it up for a couple of reasons. One, to get the wheelbarrow to be able to go straight through to the front of the garden all the way to the back without any obstructions. Right now along the fence we have stuff that prevents the wheelbarrow from being able to pass. Also, I want to get that compost section back up and running. Everything's about compost this weekend, guys. We are going to compost my homestead. I'm going to show you all the different ways I compost while we're cleaning that up. I'll show you the different piles I have, the chicken run compost, the garden scrap compost, and then that side one we're going to do. Compost is by far the #1 thing you can add to your garden. So if you're not composting and you have a yard, you need to start, because the food scraps, the grass clippings, the leaves, everything can go into a compost pile and give you great soil humus for your garden. As you all know, compost is basically everything I just said: the carbons of the brown leaves, the nitrogen of the grass. You mix everything together, and then all the microorganisms, all the little nematodes, the earthworms, everything comes and decomposes it, and in turn gives you nutrient rich and just very beneficial soil to add to the garden. So let's get composting and cleaning. Alright, let's just take a little walk real quick so I can show you what I'm talking about. Just overgrown grass, there's wire down here, wood. I just have a bunch of junk piled up. Here's my leaf mold bags that I have full of leaves, making, again, here's some more compost we're making, more like leaf mold. But that's going to be very beneficial organic matter to add to the garden. That's what you want, organic matter, and that's what all this stuff is. This big old bush here, we are getting rid of it. It is getting cut down, and it's going to go into the compost pile that is back there. That one. We'll just lay it on top, let it compost. Moving along, this was the compost area. Now, it is the most impressive flower bush there is. I mean, this thing is huge. Just wild flowers growing. I really hate to get rid of it because I know deep down in there, there's tons of stuff living in there. Probably some snakes, maybe a couple lizards. It's deep. I mean, it goes down in there far. But all this needs to get cleaned out. All this needs to be gone, because this is where I have the pallets up for the compost station. So this all needs to be gone. More vegetation that needs to be pulled out. This whole section along this fence needs to be totally cleaned out. Totally cleaned out. This tub needs to be moved. That has the, watch out, Molly. That has soil under it. My garden station needs to be cleaned up. And there's the garden right there. So once I get it cleaned up, that wheelbarrow will be able to come right through this gate when I need it to, and be able to have just a beautiful clear path. All this is going to be emptied out nice and clean. I want it just a nice walkway with a beautiful compost pile here, and my garden section, my garden workstation set up nicely. So here it is. I think I'm just going to fast time it, guys, and I'm going to start cutting down these. I'm going to start just ripping stuff out, reorganizing. Woohoo! My compost tea bin. I need to fill this back up because I've been using it for the garden, the tomato plants, and I'm almost out of fluid in there, so I'm going to have to fill that up. Projects like this, don't look at the whole big picture. It's too overwhelming. One step at a time. How do you start a journey? One step, right? So for right now, I'm going to start directly right here and just start working my way through the path. So let's do it. let the chickens work on all the insects that were in there. That'll keep them busy for a minute, and I'll take a rest. Man, the wasps did not like me moving that container. They're all over the place over there. We'll try and work over here a little. Okay guys, I am done for Saturday. It's about 3:30 and I'm getting ready to go to my brother's house and hang out, let Tyler play with his cousins, and just relax for the day. So, this is what we got done so far though. Cleaned up all this initial area, cleaned up along the fence, started ripping down all the vines, moved the compost tea there in the corner, started cleaning out this area. A lot of wasps. I disturbed a couple of hives, so they're all over the place right now, so I am not going any closer. But all of this vegetation, all these leaves that are piled up, all of these leaves, this is all going to start this compost pile over here. Let me tell you the reasoning. First thing is, let me back up, the wasps are coming closer. Okay, the first thing is, none of this has been peed on, pooped on, or anything like that by my dogs. So that's going to start a nice clean compost pile over here to the side. What I'm going to put in here is stuff I don't want to throw in the chicken run. As far as food scraps, I would like to bury a lot of that stuff and let it compost in the pile over here. The thing about putting my food scraps in the chicken run is I only put in enough that they can eat it that day, because I don't want food scraps sitting there overnight and attracting rodents. So my excessive food scraps I can bury in that compost pile on the side we're getting ready to build. You guys know my chicken run compost. In there I put hay, I put grass clippings, I put food scraps, and then they compost it themselves. Hello babies. So that's another compost, its own, that one is self-sufficient. It does its own thing, man. Chickens run that one. Look at this massive pile now. This thing is huge. The reason I started this pile, this is all the leaves that I've raked up in this backyard. All of this, I'm sure, has been peed on, pooped on by the dogs. So I just rake it all into that pile. It'll all compost, it'll all break down, it's good to go, no worries. Because there ain't that much poop in there. So that's a huge pile. That's probably almost 3.5 foot, 4 foot tall. And a lot of that, again, it's just from all the leaves from around here. Here is all the wood pile that I've been collecting out of there and in my yard. It's a massive pile of different pallet pieces, 2x4s. That's going to be all day, just kind of have a fire for a day and just start burning that stuff little by little until it's all gone. So anyway, that's it for today. We will start back again Sunday morning. Hopefully the wasps have subsided a little, because right now they are out in full force, very pissed at me. So gotta go. We'll talk to you later. Be careful. Look at these goons. Everyone say hi, Grandma. Hi, Grandma. Y'all look like bobbleheads just bouncing around. Stone. Y'all having fun?
Yeah. We're watching Moana.
Nice.
Alright, it's Sunday morning. Let's go give the chickens some bread and some halved grapes.
You're not getting any more. You already had a couple pieces of bread. What's up, ladies? Good morning. Here. Yummy bread and grapes. Alright, so one thing I did this morning was I went and got a new pitchfork handle. My other one's broke. I really need that pitchfork to be able to turn up that chicken run every once in a while so it doesn't get packed down. So, does have an angle, so you want to put your thing on the correct angle that way, pitchfork going that way. And then it's just basically a friction kind of setting, so you just gotta hammer it in. Let's see how easy this is. Molly, get. Alright guys, so one of my main objectives is done. I can now get the wheelbarrow right through here with no issues. Let's take a closer look at all my different compost piles and stuff I got going on. Come on with me. Not bad, huh? We got it all pretty much cleared out. We got all the vegetation and everything piled up here. Look at this pile I just made. That is a beautiful pile. And it's full of everything, guys. All the greens, all the browns, leaves, lizards right around there. Hello, little lizard. Sticks, twigs, grass clippings, all kinds of stuff. Just mix it all together, let the microorganisms get going. The worms will find it and come in, all the other little bugs. They'll decompose it, and you will be left with some amazing organic matter that needs to go in your garden. Now this is the one I will dig in, and I will put any excessive food scraps in the middle. That'll start composting that. Next up, let's take a look at my leaf mold. There's Molly chasing lizards. Watch out. Leaf mold in here. Let's see how it's looking. You just pack them in, man. You pack the leaves in, get it moist. Look, they're starting to turn black, starting to decompose. Yeah, take a look at that. See how it's getting all broke down. It's turning black, starting to turn into some great organic matter that's going to feed your soil, make your garden grow good. So here is the leaf mold piles, the compost pile that we just made this weekend. Let's move over to another one. And of course here's the other pile from just everything that was in the backyard, all the leaves and all that, because that's where my compost comes from, guys. All these leaves, the lawn clippings, all gets piled up. So this is the pile that might have some dog poop in it. That's why it's on its own, and that'll just be left. We're going to keep it watered, and of course I'm going to take these bigger sticks out eventually. Right now I was just piling it all up to get it going. So that's going to make some beautiful compost. And of course, right here inside the chicken run is where I do most of my composting. That's why I wanted the pitchfork fixed, so I can mix it up. Look at that. That is some great organic material, great chicken compost for the garden. This has chicken manure already mixed in because they live here. And of course we have the wood chip pile that's been on the side of the house for probably over a year now. I come out here and just get some little by little. Beautiful. Look at this, just beautiful wood chips breaking down, man. That is some good organic matter for the garden. Oh yeah, look at how it's breaking down. Oh look, there's a little worm. The worms love it too. He's an active worm. That's a little guy. There is some huge ones in these wood chips. They love them. Just worms flipping all over the place. Look at that. So many worms. So cool. Alright guys, so that's about it for the weekend. Let's do a little recap. It was all about the compost. I needed to get the south side of the house cleaned up. again, so we can get the wheelbarrow through. We could just have a nice clean path to get from the backyard to the front garden. So that got done. Check. Rounded up all the leaves and all the stuff that I pulled, all the vines off of the fencing, rounded all that up, made that big pile of compost now starting on that side of the house. That one again, I will put in my excessive food scraps in the center of it, cover it up. That'll prevent rodents from coming, and I won't have to put it out in the chicken run where the rodents will find it. So that's done. I showed you the compost pile in the back that might have some dog poop in it. That's done. That is going to just sit there. I'm going to keep them wet. Just keep your compost piles wet, and if you want, you can turn them like once a month or something like that if you want. But just make sure you go over there and wet them up something. Get those microorganisms really working for you. We got the wood chips on the side of the house composting with all those worms. We got the chicken run composting. I'm going to mow now. I'm going to put all the grass clippings right into that chicken run after I just tilled it up with the new pitchfork. Speaking of, new handle for the pitchfork. That's done. I needed to get that done. So I'm going to go mow. I'm going to put the grass clippings in there. The chickens are going to just work that into their straw, their chicken manure. And again, that's just a working compost run that just kind of works by itself sometimes. And that's it. You know, the ultimate goal here with all these piles is by the end of the summer, after we work them and we break them down throughout the summer, we're going to put them all together, mix it all together, the chicken run, the wood chips, the other two piles, mix them all together, have tons of organic matter to throw into the beds. Of course, we got to probably make some new beds here soon, but we'll figure that out some other time. But anyway, great compost will make great gardens, man. It'll make it easier. It'll feed the microorganisms in the soil. It'll keep the water retention perfect. It'll keep the pH level of the soil perfect. Compost is a wonderful thing. So, that's it, man. We were composting the homestead this weekend. We got a lot of good piles started. I'm pretty excited. So, y'all have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Okay, so I'm not done just yet. One more thing I wanted to point out about compost. You can go online and you can read books of compost on use a third carbon, 2/3 nitrogen. You don't want too much green or brown. Look, first of all, if you mow your lawn and that's all you have for compost, if you mow that, bag it, pile it, it's going to compost. Because there's green grass in there. There's also dead grass from last year. There's also maybe some leaves that fall. So that's already pre-mixed, basically. Don't worry about a third of this, 2/3 of that. Oh, do I put a banana peel? Do I put, some people say, oh, eggshells, don't put them in, da-da-da. Man, I just roll with it. Just put it all in, put it all together. I'm not going to worry about I have 2/3, a third of this. Come on, man, get real. It's compost. It's nature. Nature knows what to do. In the forest, it's not saying, oh, just drop me a couple of leaves because I have quite a few pine needles down. No. It just happens. It's natural. It's a natural process. So you can read up on it and you can be that nerd that, oh, yeah, a third of this, or 2/3 of that. I didn't mean to say nerd, whatever, but just do it. Just get the compost piles going. It's going to help your garden. Anyway, that's it. Now I'm done. See y'all later.